Libra, my radiant seeker of balance and beauty. What if I told you that this is the week your entire financial reality could transform quietly, quickly, and miraculously? Welcome to Zodiac Whisper Tarot, where divine timing meets divine messages, and nothing, absolutely not hingus ever a coincidence. You're here for a reason. And yes, this message was meant to find you today, not yesterday, not tomorrow now. This is not just another horoscope reading. It is an energetic alignment, a soul appointment you've unconsciously accepted, and now the portal is open. You are entering the most financially blessed week of the month. And the universe, Libra, is whispering your name louder than ever before. Something extraordinary is approaching, an unexpected opportunity, a surprising money breakthrough, a door to a new life you didn't know was already waiting. You see, 3 planetary forces are aligning with your second house, the house of value, money, and self-worth. This isn't abstract astrology. This is a spiritual weather report in the forecast. Golden. Something is unlocking in your favor, and it's not based on luck. It's based on the energetic debts you've paid, the balance you've maintained, and the seeds you've planted, often in silence, often in pain. Perhaps you've felt overlooked. Perhaps you've given more than you've received. But Libra, let me say this clearly, you are not forgotten. You are not behind. You are right on time, and the next 7 days could change everything. Right now, it may feel subtle. But subtle is how miracles begin. A text message. An email. A phone call. A conversation with someone who just happened to appear at the right moment. That's how spiritual wealth unfolds, in quiet nudges that open massive doors. And it's not just about money. It's about value. Your value. The kind that isn't defined by your job title, your bank account, or your history, but by your divine design. You are stepping into a timeline where your gifts are finally being seen, where your energy is being matched, and where your worth is no longer up for negotiation. Before we continue, let me take a sacred moment to thank you for being here, for watching, for liking, for commenting, for subscribing. Every action you take here deepens your connection to this growing soul family at Zodiac Whisper Tarot. And I promise you, this is more than a channel. It's a portal. So, if something in your spirit feels activated right now, if your heart skipped a beat or your breath slowed down even for a moment, I invite you to do something simple yet powerful. Comment below with the number 777, a divine confirmation that you're ready to receive, ready to align, ready to rise. Because I assure you, Libra, what the universe is preparing to reveal today is nothing short of breathtaking. Stay with me. This isn't just a reading. It's your realignment. Let's walk through this portal together. Sometimes, what seems like a small shift in your outer world is actually a major alignment in your inner world. And Libra, the energy surrounding you right now is exactly Theta, gentle, almost imperceptible invitation that has the power to reshape your entire financial timeline. You may have noticed it already, a sudden message from someone you haven't heard from in months, a conversation that seems ordinary but stirs something deep in you, or even the quiet idea that keeps tugging at your mind, the one you've shelved for too long. These aren't random. They are invitations. And your soul recognizes them long before your mind does. Astrologically, what we're seeing is the activation of your 8th house, the house that governs not only shared resources and finances but also regeneration and energetic transformation. With the new moon recently casting its influence there, a door is opening for you to reimagine how money flows into your life. Not through force. Not through striving. But through alignment. And invitations are how the universe whispers, "Are you ready to receive?" This is not about chasing opportunity, it's about recognizing it. Because when something is meant for you, it rarely arrives with flashing lights or grand announcements. It comes as a nudge. A soft tap on your energetic shoulder. An unexpected email. A text that feels perfectly timed. A second chance at a connection or a calling you thought had already passed you by. The magic, Libra, lies in your response. Do you open the door this time? Do you say yes not just with words, but with action? In my years guiding thousands of souls through financial rebirth and personal expansion, I've seen this pattern unfold time and time again. The ones who respond to the invitation even if it scares them are the ones who step into breakthroughs they once thought were beyond them. And that's what I see forming for you now. You are being asked to respond. Not impulsively, but intuitively. Not with fear, but with faith in your own timing. You might be wondering, what if I miss the moment? What if I don't recognize the door when it opens? And here's the truth: what is truly meant for you will never require you to beg, force, or plead. But it will ask you to listen. It will ask you to be still long enough to feel when your spirit leans forward. It will ask you to stop talking yourself out of what you already know is calling you. If you're waiting for permission, let this be it. Revisit the idea that once set your heart on fire. Follow up on the conversation that felt off-timing at the time but never quite left your thoughts. Write down the names of 3 people who make your energy expand and reach out. Not because you're chasing opportunity, but because you're ready to receive what aligns with your evolved self. In the same way that farmers plant seeds without ever needing to see the entire harvest at once, you are being asked to plant one small action today. Faith, in this sense, isn't about certainty, it's about movement. Even in Scripture, we are reminded that small acts of trust, seeds of faith, grow into miracles we cannot yet comprehend. Not through control, but through surrender. Not through perfection, but through presence. So if your heart is feeling called right now, even just a whisper, acknowledge it. Let this be your moment of activation. And if you feel ready to open the door to what's waiting on the other side, comment the number 1111 below. That's not just a number, it's a spiritual signature that says, I'm awake. I'm aware. And I'm open. Because Libra, the invitation has arrived. And only you can choose to walk through. Sometimes the most powerful victories happen in silence, and Libra, this is one of those moments for you. Even if no one else sees the battles you've been fighting, the inner work you've been doing, or the strength it's taken just to show up and keep going, you know. And the universe knows too. Right now, you're walking through a season where your resilience is being rewarded, not by applause, but by quiet divine protection that wraps itself around you like invisible armor. There's a certain kind of courage that lives inside those who have been misjudged. Perhaps you've been talked about behind closed doors, misunderstood by people you once trusted, or made to feel smaller because your light made others uncomfortable. But here's the truth, Libra, you were never meant to shrink to fit into spaces not built for your expansion. What you're experiencing now isn't rejection, it's redirection. A higher path is being carved out for you, and though it may seem hidden at times, you are being shielded from people, situations, and even opportunities that could have drained or delayed your evolution. Astrologically, this is a time of energetic clearing. The cosmic environment around you is shifting in a way that makes it impossible for deception, manipulation, or toxic projections to remain hidden. With Saturn providing quiet structure and Pluto revealing buried truths, you're being escorted away from confusion and toward clarity even if it doesn't look like it at first. The cobwebs, in this context, aren't traps theory warnings that something doesn't belong in your energy anymore. And the universe is sweeping them away for you. You don't have to defend yourself anymore. You don't have to fight to be understood. You don't need to explain your worth to those who chose not to see it. This chapter is about protecting your peace and recognizing that when people speak about you, they're often revealing more about themselves. You are not what they say you are. You are who you quietly decide to become. And Libra, the version of you that's emerging now is stronger, wiser, and more rooted in truth than ever before. In moments like these, it helps to remember that not all battles are meant to be fought in the open. Some are meant to be surrendered and trusted to something higher than our own understanding. Think of those times when you narrowly avoided something that almost happened, but didn't. The job that fell through. The relationship that dissolved. The meeting that got cancelled. Often, what feels like delay is actually divine interception. If you're someone who lives a busy life, managing responsibilities, emotions, dreams, and relationships all at once, you know how hard it is to stay centered. But here's a gentle reminder: you're allowed to rest in the fact that you are being looked after. Even when things don't make perfect sense, your path is still unfolding in perfect time. Sometimes what looks like being left out is really being led away from harm, from chaos, from limitation. If you've been praying for peace, asking for clarity, or simply hoping for the weight on your shoulders to lighten, consider this your confirmation. You don't have to force what's meant for you. You don't have to prove yourself to earn safety. You're already surrounded by protection in more ways than you know. Let this be a soft place for your spirit to land. If something in your life is fading or falling away, bless it and let it go. If something hidden is being revealed, honor the truth and reclaim your light. And if you're feeling called to trust a little deeper in this moment, I invite you to pause and affirm it with presence. Comment the number 444 below if you're ready to stand in quiet confidence and walk forward knowing that the things trying to harm you will not succeed. You're not just being protected, you're being positioned. And every step you take now is a step toward your higher timeline. There are moments in life when a single connection changes everything, not because it solves all your problems, but because it reminds you that you were never meant to navigate the journey alone. Libra, as you walk through this new season of alignment and quiet miracles, the universe is gently placing someone on your path who holds a piece of the next chapter with you. You may not recognize them right away. They may not come with grand gestures or bold declarations. Instead, it might feel like a subtle click in your energy, a moment where your soul says, "Ah, there you are." This energy is reflected deeply in the symbolism of the Tiapidan archetype that speaks to warm conversation, sacred support, and deep emotional resonance. And astrologically, this aligns with the harmonizing forces currently activating your house of connection and collaboration. This isn't about romantic entanglement. It's about energetic alignment. You're being called to recognize the importance of soul-level partnerships, but a friend, mentor, business partner, or even a brief encounter that leaves an imprint on your trajectory. Sometimes, the shift you need doesn't come from within, it's sparked by a conversation, a suggestion, or an insight offered by someone who has walked a similar path. One of the greatest acts of personal transformation comes when we're willing to open ourselves up to receive wisdom from others without ego, without resistance. That's how divine collaboration begins, not through striving, but through resonance. And Libra, your energy is magnetizing someone into your space who sees your potential, not just your presentation. From the perspective of numerology, this is the frequency of the number 2 duality, cooperation, balance. Two energies coming together not to overpower, but to reflect, support, and multiply. It reminds us that shared energy can double momentum, and that there is strength in vulnerability when expressed in safe, aligned spaces. If you've been feeling stuck in your ideas, unclear about your next move, or simply uninspired, this connection might be exactly what you need to move forward. I want you to think back to a time when someone said something small that shifted everything for you. Maybe it was encouragement. Maybe it was advice. Maybe it was the way they simply listened when no one else did. We don't always recognize the gravity of these connections in the moment, but looking back, we see how they rerouted the entire course of our growth. And right now, you're on the verge of meeting or reconnecting with someone like that again. You don't need to go searching for this person. Just stay open. Say yes to that event. Message that friend you've been thinking about. Join that virtual circle you've kept bookmarked. Sometimes, divine appointments are disguised as casual coffee chats. Sometimes, the miracle isn't in the money itself but in the mind that gets reawakened by meaningful connection. And if you've ever felt like you had to do everything on your own, I want to offer you this: support is not weakness. Asking for guidance is not failure. Allowing someone to walk alongside you is not giving up control, it's giving permission for expansion. Just as a tree doesn't grow faster alone in an empty field, neither do you. You were created for community, for reciprocity, for collaborative magic. If your heart is stirring even slightly while hearing this, honor that feeling. You may be closer than you think to the person who will help unlock the next phase of your abundance, not by fixing your life, but by standing beside you as you step into it. Comment 222 below if you've ever had a conversation, a friendship, or a meeting that changed something inside you. And if you feel that moment may be arriving again soon, let this be your quiet yes. Sometimes, that's all it takes to open the flow. Maybe you've stopped checking. Maybe you've grown tired of refreshing your inbox, watching your phone light up with everything except the one message you've been waiting for. I get it, Libra. Disappointment has a way of conditioning us to lower our expectations. But let me gently offer another possibility. What if that message, the approval, the opportunity, the yes is already en route, and the delay was never a denial, just divine timing at work? The energy of the bird perched is subtle but powerful. It represents a message in motion, an answer, a package, a signal that is no longer being withheld, only waiting for the right moment to land. And astrologically, this ties beautifully to the activation in your third house, the area of your chart that governs communication, movement, and news. With Mercury recently shifting direction, you're being aligned with exactly the information you need to take the next step in your journey. Something is preparing to land, Libra. You don't have to chase it. You only need to receive it. When the Knight of Cups appears in tandem with this energy, it brings more than just news. It carries emotion, fulfillment, momentum. This isn't the kind of email you skim and forget. It's the one that lifts your chest, that makes you exhale with relief, that allows you to believe in breakthrough again. For some of you, this may look like an offer letter, a funding approval, a long-awaited reply, or even the green light on something that had been stuck in limbo for far too long. But the common thread? It shifts something forward. And the moment it arrives, so does clarity. We often associate financial change with hard work and endless effort, and while action matters, so does receptivity. That's where the law of attraction quietly works on your behalf. What you vibrate emotionally, your readiness, your belief, your willingness to say yes calls in the very things that are meant to find you. That's why I invite you, right here and now, to write your intention down as if it's already real. Not because you're trying to trick the universe, but because you're anchoring your energy in possibility. You don't manifest by begging. You manifest by believing. In one of the most unexpected moments of my own journey, I received a message that turned my life upside down in the best way. I wasn't expecting it. I had nearly given up on it. But it came. Not because I forced it, but because I had unknowingly prepared the space for it. I cleared what no longer served. I focused my energy on what lit me up. I trusted even when I was tired of trusting. That's what allowed the message to arrive and land gently, exactly where I needed it. You may be in that exact same space now. A space where nothing looks different on the surface, but everything is shifting beneath. This moment requires patience, yes, but also preparation. If the door opens today, will you be ready to walk through it? If the opportunity knocks, will you recognize it as your own? Keep your heart open and your awareness sharp. Let go of the idea that everything good takes forever. Some things, especially the right things, arrive swiftly once you're aligned. And when they do, they often look quiet at first, like a simple notification or a soft knock at the door. But when you answer, everything changes. If you're feeling the pull of this message, if you're waiting on that call, that email, that letter that could shift your direction, take a deep breath. Trust the movement already in motion. And if you'd like to speak your readiness aloud, comment the number 555 below. It's your energetic signal that you're open, prepared, and willing to receive what's already on its way to you. Because it is. And this time, it won't pass you by. Think of this week not as just another string of days, Libra, but as a rare and radiant window of opportunity, a golden pocket of time where your actions carry amplified weight. The energy you're stepping into is what I call diamond frequency. It's when the universe is most responsive, most fertile, most available to meet your momentum halfway. And the cards reflect that with stunning clarity. Lucky You and Money Tree are not just symbols of short-term gain theory, an invitation into something long-lasting, something that extends beyond you. They whisper of legacy. Right now, your vibration is aligned with expansion. You're not just attracting windfalls or temporary rewards, you're standing at the edge of building roots that could sustain you and generations that follow. But here's the nuance. This is not passive luck. This isn't a lottery ticket. This is earned alignment. The result of internal shifts, quiet healing, and the steady release of beliefs that no longer serve your financial evolution. From an astrological lens, this week's transits activate your 2nd and 10th houses, the realms of self-worth, income, and long-term career destiny. When those areas are lit up, you are being divinely supported to act in ways that anchor your value into tangible form. That could mean finally sharing your gifts publicly, launching that side business, opening the account you've been putting off, or speaking aloud a financial intention you were once afraid to claim. These aren't massive leaps. They're small, intentional seeds. And seeds, when planted under the right cosmic conditions, bear fruit far beyond expectation. The money tree energy reminds you that wealth doesn't always begin with capital, it often begins with clarity. What do you believe you're allowed to have? What do you truly feel worthy of receiving? Money responds to conviction. It flows toward confidence. And when you take even one brave step, reaching out to the client, pitching the idea, organizing your budget, sharing your voice, you become a vessel for more. More opportunity. More trust. More flow. There's a simple spiritual principle that mirrors this perfectly. Whatever we plant in faith, we eventually harvest in form. But most people stop right before the soil gives way to bloom. They question themselves, the timing, the path. Libra, don't let that be you. You're closer than you think. The roots are already forming. All you're being asked to do is continue watering them with belief, with action, with consistency. Not perfection. Presence. So here's your invitation. Take one aligned financial action today. It doesn't need to be dramatic. Maybe it's finally consolidating your subscriptions. Maybe it's taking that course that will upgrade your skill set. Maybe it's writing a thank you message to a past client. Or maybe it's sitting quietly and journaling the version of you who already lives in financial freedom. These acts, no matter how small, are a declaration. A signature to the universe that says, I'm no longer waiting. I'm building. And I want to offer this gentle reminder: wealth isn't selfish. Thriving is not greedy. In fact, when people like you, kind, wise, intuitive, and balanced, become resourced, the world becomes better. You are someone who shares, who lifts, who creates impact. That's why it's not just okay for you to rise, it's necessary. If your heart is nodding, even quietly, I invite you to speak that intention into the space by commenting 888 below. Let that number be a mirror of your commitment to sowing seeds not just for today, but for a future rich in joy, peace, and possibility. Your time is not coming. Your time is here. Let's walk it out one grounded, golden step at a time. Libra, if you've made it to this point, I want you to pause and take a breath, not just with your lungs, but with your soul. Because this moment, right here, is no accident. You didn't stumble upon this message. You were led here. Called here. And now, everything is shifting. You are being chosen to live a new story, one where wealth is not a distant dream, but a natural extension of your divine inheritance. Yes, Libra, the universe has seen the work you've done in silence. The prayers you've whispered when no one was listening. The tears you've wiped away before the world could see. And now, your reward is on the way. Not because you begged for it, but because you aligned with it. You don't need to ask for permission to be wealthy. You don't need to shrink to make others comfortable. You don't need to explain why abundance flows to you. You simply need to accept it. That's it. You've already done the hard part, surviving what was meant to break you. Now it's your time to receive. And here's the truth. When you believe you are worthy, miracles move faster. When you dare to declare that you are ready, doors swing open. When you boldly step into the version of you that you were always meant to become. The money, the opportunity, the love, the healing, it all shows up. But it starts here. In the silence between your thoughts. In the tiny yes you whisper to yourself when the world feels loud. It starts in this sacred space you've just created by listening to a message your soul already knew. So I want to leave you with this. What if this was the week that changes everything? Would you be ready to claim it? Or would you still wait for someone else to validate what you already know is yours? Because Libra, the money miracle is not coming to you, it's already on the way. You just need to stay open, stay aligned, and stay grateful. If your heart feels this truth, if something deep inside you knows this message was meant for you, don't let the energy stop here. Affirm your readiness. Anchor it into the universe. Type a number in the comments below that resonates with your current vibration. Type 999 if you're ready to receive a financial blessing beyond logic. Type 777 if you're attracting unstoppable abundance and divine luck. Type 333 if you're investing in yourself and building your wealth foundation. Every number is a frequency, a code, a declaration. And your comment is more than engagement, it's a spiritual commitment. If this video found you at the right moment, if it felt like it was made just for you, subscribe to this channel, Zodiac Whisper Tarot, and turn on your notifications. Because we are building a sacred space here where chosen ones like you are not just seen, but celebrated. And every message is designed to guide you deeper into the life you've been praying for. Libra, remember this. You were not born to chase crumbs. You were born to inherit the feast. You are not too late. You are not too broken. You are not too anything. You are perfectly on time for your own miracle. So go ahead. Claim it. I'll be here waiting for your 777 in the comments. And the universe? It's already saying yes.